The tale commences on a somber, rain-soaked day where our protagonist, Lu Hao, lay incapacitated by illness. The simple act of reaching for a glass of water proved too arduous, his weakened grip causing the cup to shatter upon contact with the side table. Frustration surged within him, manifesting as a furious fist pounding against the bed. In that moment of vulnerability, he couldn't escape the nagging thought that perhaps he had become utterly worthless. Lu Hao's world unfolded on the Xuan Continent, a realm defined by martial dominance, where strength was revered above all else. In this unforgiving land, ordinary individuals sought to ascend to the ranks of warriors. The key to their transformation lay in awakening their martial meridians, intricate channels within the human body that had the power to sense and absorb spiritual energy. The very lifeblood of Xuan Continent's martial prowess, these meridians not only transported spiritual energy to every corner of a warrior's body, but also bestowed them with extraordinary abilities, granting the power to cleave through rivers with a blade, summon wind and rain, and even challenge the heavens and the earth. Lu Hao had embarked on this arduous path, and it was only a month ago that he had achieved the awakening of 4 martial meridians, earning him the esteemed title of the new generation's top disciple in the illustrious Lu family of Tian Kui City. Yet destiny had a different plan in store. In a dramatic twist, Lu Hao found himself ensnared in a web of deceit and betrayal. His fellow disciple, Lu Xiaolin, had been concealing a dark secret, a penchant for mistreating a female clan member in the shadows. Unable to stand idly by, Lu Hao intervened to aid the hapless woman, oblivious to the fact that he was walking straight into the sinister trap orchestrated by Lu Xiaolin's grandfather, Lu Tianyan, the clan's chief. Hidden motives and envy swirled within the heart of Lu Tianyan, who harbored resentment toward Lu Hao's rapid ascent within the clan. A meticulously crafted ruse unfolded in which they framed Lu Hao for assaulting the female disciple. Lu Xiaolin swooped in as the savior, further exacerbating Lu Hao's predicament. Matters took an even darker turn when they accused Lu Hao of conspiring against fellow clan members, leading to the ultimate blow. They completely crippled his martial meridians. The ultimate humiliation came in the form of exile from the clan, rendering Lu Hao bereft of his hard-earned status and abilities. In a world where might dictated one's worth, Lu Hao grappled with despair, unable to fathom a life marked by this devastating loss. It was during this desolate moment that he happened upon a note, a glimmer of hope in his darkest hour. The message cryptically spoke of 10 years east of the river, where the golden scales transform into a dragon at times. These enigmatic words offered a beacon of guidance and led Lu Hao to a revelation. He was not alone. The note was signed by Hua De Yi, a sole supporter who had stood by him during his precipitous fall from grace. Astonishingly, she was a disciple of the revered reversed Xuan sword sect. In her unwavering support, she made one solemn request, that Lu Hao find the strength to persevere. This cryptic note served as a lifeline, reminding him that he couldn't simply resign himself to fate. Resolute and defiant, Lu Hao's thoughts turned to action. He understood that his former clan now viewed him as an enemy, and for the sake of his own survival, he must leave Tian Kui City promptly. With determination as his guide, he ventured outside, unwilling to bow to despair. As he embarked on this uncertain path, he realized that self-defense was imperative in a world fraught with danger. Lu Hao visited a sword shop, where he hoped to acquire a weapon for protection. Unfortunately, the cost of swords far exceeded his limited means. He humbly inquired about more affordable alternatives, only to have his world unravel once more. Lu Xiaolin, accompanied by his 2 henchmen, strode into the shop, a cruel twist of fate bringing them face to face with Lu Hao. The sight of his tormentor sent shivers down Lu Hao's spine. Lu Xiaolin wasted no time, commanding his minions to capture Lu Hao and swiftly immobilize him. Bound and helpless, they dragged Lu Hao into a dim, secluded alley. With a malevolent gleam in his eye, Lu Xiaolin issued an ultimatum: kneel and apologize, or face a gruesome end. Lu Hao, his spirit unbroken, adamantly refused to bow to the false accusations, even if the very heavens were to crumble around him. Incensed by this defiance, Lu Xiaolin unleashed a violent assault. Lu Hao's heart pounded with the realization that he was no match for Lu Xiaolin, a martial artist at the second stage of ki condensation. With his current capabilities, resistance seemed futile. The world darkened as Lu Xiaolin delivered a crippling blow, a punch to Lu Hao's back that robbed him of sensation in his lower body. In the throes of despair, Lu Hao's life hung in the balance. But just as hope dwindled, An extraordinary phenomenon unfurled within him. An unmistakable dragon aura began to stir. Inexplicably, his fractured bones commenced an astounding process of self-healing. It was a revelation that echoed the words of his father, a whisper from the past that had lingered in the recesses of his memory. His father had spoken of the Lu clan's latent potential, the divine dragon bloodline. This mystical power possessed the unique ability to suppress other martial meridians, its awakening shrouded in mystery and uncertainty. The immense power of the divine dragon bloodline had the potential to elevate a warrior's strength to unparalleled heights, surpassing even the most formidable martial meridians. In that fateful moment, Lu Hao's awakening was nothing short of miraculous. The divine bloodline surged within him, manifesting as a resplendent dragon aura. As Lu Xiaolin prepared to land the finishing blow, Lu Hao deftly evaded the strike. In a swift and breathtaking counterattack, he disarmed Lu Xiaolin, brandishing the once enemy's sword as a symbol of newfound resolve. Clutching Lu Xiaolin's weapon, Lu Hao vowed to make him taste the very agony he had sought to inflict. Lu Xiaolin, his adversary, stumbled backward, and the harsh embrace of the earth met him with an unforgiving thud. Lu Hao's eyes blazed with a burning intensity, a fiery determination that set his course. His sword plunged mercilessly into Lu Xiaolin's trembling leg, unleashing a torrent of pain that coursed through his being. In the blink of an eye, a second strike descended, a powerful blow that shattered the very essence of Lu Xiaolin's cultivation, rendering him incapacitated, a mere shell of his former self. With a cold, unwavering resolve, Lu Hao leaned in, his voice dripping with vengeance. He vowed to take on Lu Xiaolin's grandfather, Lu Tianyan, the mastermind behind this wicked plot. Having delivered his declaration, Lu Hao turned and left the scene, leaving behind a tableau of shocked onlookers who bore witness to the fallen Lu Xiaolin. News of this dramatic confrontation rippled through the city like a stone cast into a still pond, and it reached the ears of Lu Xiaolin's grandfather, the formidable Lu Tianyan, a man of great influence and power. Without a moment's hesitation, Lu Tianyan rallied his loyal followers, dispatching them with an unwavering command: scour every corner of the city, intensively and relentlessly, until Lu Hao was found. And so his loyal adherents embarked on this all-consuming quest, determined to bring Lu Hao to justice. They combed through alleyways and marketplaces, delving into the city's darkest corners in pursuit of their quarry. But the days turned into nights, and despite their relentless pursuit, Lu Hao remained elusive, a phantom eluding their grasp. 3 days passed, and in the depths of a cave nestled within the lush forest, Lu Hao found refuge. The torrential rain had given way to a serene stillness, and in the solitude of the cave he meditated. A profound question weighed heavily on his mind. He had awakened the divine dragon bloodline, a heritage of power and potential shrouded in myth and legend. It was believed that those who awakened this ancient lineage possessed the ability to rejuvenate their martial meridians, channels within the body that served as conduits for spiritual energy. Moreover, they could unlock an inheritance of meridians that transcended the capabilities of ordinary individuals. Yet, despite this remarkable awakening, Lu Hao had not restored a single ordinary meridian. In the stillness of the cave, he contemplated the tantalizing notion that perhaps the answer lay in the integration of his newfound power with the Lu clan's ancestral technique, the Golden Dragon 9 transformation. The legend spoke of this technique as the pinnacle of the Lu clan's cultivation, a path that led to transcending the very laws of heaven and earth. With 9 transformations, a warrior was said to attain an indestructible body of gold, an embodiment of invincibility. The Golden Dragon transformations, however, had fallen into disrepute over the years. It was a discarded technique, viewed as a relic of the past. Yet the knowledge of this arcane art persisted among the descendants of the Lu clan, and it was this knowledge that ignited a spark of curiosity in Lu Hao's mind. With a resolute spirit and a trace of trepidation, he invoked the Golden Dragon 9 transformation. The ancient technique, infused with the power of his divine dragon bloodline, began to weave its magic. The scene shifted, and a month and a half later, a new narrative began to unfold. Lu Hao had not only restored one ordinary meridian, but had surged ahead to the second stage of key condensation. The fusion of the Golden Dragon 9 transformation with his awakened divine dragon bloodline had unleashed a potency beyond his wildest imaginings. What truly set him apart, however, was the opening of an inheritance meridian, a rare and coveted treasure within the world of martial cultivation. It was said that cultivating with an inheritance meridian was as potent as having 5 ordinary meridians. In a duel of equals, a cultivator with an inheritance meridian possessed an unrivaled combat power, even eclipsing those with 5 ordinary meridians. This revelation was a testament to the newfound heights of Lu Hao's power and potential. With the restoration of the remaining 3 ordinary meridians, his cultivation speed would soon surpass that of even the most gifted martial geniuses with 8 meridians. Ordinary meridians were constrained to 8, but inheritance meridians knew no such limits. Lu Hao recognized the difficulty in opening an inheritance meridian, which required unique circumstances or rare treasures. He pondered the prospect of unlocking more in the future, considering the inevitability of the Lu clan's aging leader, who stood at the 6th stage of True Key. The passing of their clan chief was a foregone conclusion, and the potential for inheritance meridians held a tantalizing promise. The scene then shifted to the outskirts of the city, where the verdant embrace of the forest stretched as far as the eye could see. It took the form of a fearsome adversary, a 2nd-stage mutant beast, a wolf with a menacing growl that reverberated through the woods. Lu Hao, at the 2nd stage of Key condensation, contemplated the dire situation before him. The wolf's strength, he surmised, rivaled that of a 3rd-stage Key condensation martial artist. The question that loomed was whether he, as a practitioner at the 2nd stage, could muster the strength and skill to confront this formidable foe. The forest bore witness to a collision of fates as both the wolf and Lu Hao charged headlong into the inevitable clash. In an awe-inspiring display of martial prowess, Lu Hao emerged victorious, a single strike proving sufficient to bring down the once ferocious beast. He stood triumphant, his demeanor a testament to his indomitable spirit, and the scars etched upon his flesh a reminder of the trials he had overcome. In the aftermath of his encounter with the Howling Moon Grey Wolf, Lu Hao couldn't help but marvel at the resilience of his physical body. The beast's ferocious strike had left behind only a few claw marks, a testament to the extraordinary strength bestowed upon him by the divine dragon bloodline. His thoughts turned to the valuable treasure concealed within fierce beasts like the Howling Moon Grey Wolf, the beast crystals. These crystals were repositories of potent spiritual energy drawn from the beasts themselves. Possessing the ability to refine and enhance one's cultivation, they were highly sought-after treasures in the world of martial practice. As Lu Hao retrieved the coveted beast crystal from the wolf's lifeless body, an elation surged through him. It was a tangible symbol of his growing strength. However, his triumphant reverie was abruptly disrupted as an unexpected voice sliced through the solitude of the forest. A name resounded through the air, and as Lu Hao turned, he was confronted by a figure from his past, none other than Lu Xiaolin. The anger etched on Lu Xiaolin's face was palpable, his eyes burning with a desire for retribution. Lu Hao, unperturbed by the sudden encounter, acknowledged Lu Xiaolin with a casual nod. He reminded his adversary that it was only a short while ago that he had left him incapacitated, humiliated, and bereft of his martial abilities. Yet Lu Xiaolin had come with a singular purpose, to exact revenge on the very man who had embarrassed him in front of their clan members. He seethed with anger as he warned Lu Hao that this time he had come prepared. The implicit message was clear. Lu Xiaolin would not let him escape with his life. In a tense exchange, Lu Xiaolin went on to reveal a startling twist in their tale. He divulged that after being rendered powerless by Lu Hao, the main clan had dispatched an expert from the Four Realms secret realm to Tiankui City. This intervention had saved him from certain demise. Intrigued by this revelation, Lu Hao pressed for the identity of this enigmatic expert. Lu Xiaolin, however, was curt in his response, dismissing the question and asserting his readiness for a final confrontation. He ordered his followers, his loyal cadre of martial artists, to surround Lu Hao with the intent to slay him. He dangled a tantalizing incentive before them, a generous reward for their loyalty. A ripple of fear coursed through the group as they hesitated. They had, after all, borne witness to Lu Hao's astonishing feat, the single-handed takedown of the formidable Howling Moon Azure Wolf. Even martial practitioners at the 4th stage of Key condensation would struggle to best the fearsome beast. Lu Xiaolin, dismissing their apprehensions, lashed out at their uncertainty with a punch, refusing to believe that Lu Hao had vanquished the wolf. With a determined spirit, he leaped into action, charging towards Lu Hao from the edge of a precipice. The resolute palm strike, infused with the power of his martial cultivation, soared through the air, a beacon of his unwavering resolve. In response, Lu Hao harnessed his martial prowess, propelling himself forward to meet the impending clash. The convergence of their powers created a cataclysmic collision mid-air, a tempestuous explosion of energy that reverberated through the forest. Lu Xiaolin, overconfident, tells Lu Hao that he can't defeat him as his third stage palm imprint can't be surpassed with Lu Hao's first stage single palm imprint. Then suddenly Dragon emerges from Lu Xiaolin's palm imprint and Lu Xiaolin can't believe what he sees and gets caught in the attack. Lu Xiaolin's confidence had been misplaced and his earlier assurances of victory proved futile. He lay sprawled upon the ground, defeated, a bewildered expression clouding his features. Lu Hao, on the other hand, stood resolute, his gaze unwavering. The transformation that had taken place within him was nothing short of extraordinary. His power, bolstered by the divine dragon bloodline and the 9 transformations of the golden dragon technique, had propelled him to a level far beyond Lu Xiaolin's reach. Lu Hao didn't waste words, the glint of resolve in his eyes underscoring his intent. With a sense of finality, he informed Lu Xiaolin that he had spared him once, but this time there would be no reprieve. Lu Xiaolin pleaded for mercy, desperation in his voice, but Lu Hao's heart remained hardened. In a swift and decisive act, Lu Hao struck Lu Xiaolin with a forceful kick to the torso, extinguishing the spark of life within him. As Lu Xiaolin's life ebbed away, the grim chapter that had bound them together reached its bitter conclusion. The fallen man's subordinates, left in a state of shock and despair, dropped to their knees before Lu Hao. They implored for clemency and revealed the coercion they had faced, acknowledging their compulsion to act against him. Lu Hao, with anger, tells them that he will let them live if they tell him about the expert from the 4 realms secret realm that Lu Xiaolin talked about. After they told him everything, he tells them to get lost, and they all leave immediately in the forest. Now Lu Hao stood alone, confronted with a new and perilous reality. The revelation shared by Lu Xiaolin had unveiled a shadowy conspiracy orchestrated by the main Lu clan. Their ambition was colossal. They had discovered a vast blessed land capable of accommodating 100,000 individuals. This newfound territory had served as the impetus for a large-scale campaign to bring the external branches of the Lu family in Tiancui City back under the central clan's control. Furthermore, they harbored intentions to locate Lu Hao's parents and thwart any possibility of his return to the main clan. The mention of his parents resurrected a deep-seated pain within Lu Hao. Their tragic end had occurred when they were on a mission, felled by the ferocity of fierce beasts. A shroud of suspicion veiled their deaths, casting a lingering shadow over his past. The martial world, as Lu Hao knew it, was divided into 10 major realms. These major realms included the body-tempering realm, the key condensation realm, the true key realm, and the holy martial realm. Beyond these, the martial practitioners pursued further stages known as the yellow extreme realm, the profound extreme realm, the earth extreme realm, and the heaven extreme realm. This collection of 4 was known collectively as the 4 realms secret realm. Those who descended to the 4 realms secret realm were acknowledged as the foremost experts in the empire. Despite this prestigious status, it was understood that realms even higher, such as the Return to Origin realm and the Martial God realm, existed beyond the 4 realms secret realm. These were realms of legend, as elusive as they were powerful. Yet for the present moment, the looming specter that hung over Lu Hao was the presence of an expert dispatched from the 4 realms secret realm. This formidable adversary from the upper echelons of the martial world had set their sights on Lu Hao, a target of significant importance. The weight of this newfound threat pressed upon him, a burden he could not ignore. Lu Hao, deeply troubled by the mystery surrounding his parents' death, felt compelled to embark on a thorough investigation. With determination etched across his face, he took flight through the skies, leaving the ordinary world behind. The scene shifted to Tiancui City, a place that held the grandeur of the Lu family mansion, where clan members gathered, murmuring their disdain for Lu Hao. Within the clan, he was perceived as nothing more than a worthless scion, a mere shadow of his family's past glory. Amidst the murmurs of his detractors, a young woman named Lu Xiu rose to defend her brother Lu Hao, vehemently opposing any ill words spoken against him. Her unexpected support left Lu Hao stunned. He hadn't anticipated such unwavering loyalty from her. Many years ago, Lu Hao had resided in the main clan but had yet to awaken any martial pulse. In the eyes of others, he was nothing but a waste, a label that only Lu Xiu refused to embrace. She was the one who had stood by his side during his darkest hours when the other children taunted and tormented him. Soon, 2 other clan members, Lu Wu and Lu Zhan, joined Lu Xiu. They narrated the heartbreaking tale of how Lu Hao's father had relinquished the family's assets, offering them as a plea to Lu Songshi. His desperate request was to transfer the dragon Holy Spirit Du into Lu Hao's body, awakening his dormant martial pulse. However, the cunning and treacherous Lu Songshi had duped them, replacing the life-altering elixir with a worthless counterfeit. Upon discovering the deceit, Lu Hao's father had confronted Lu Songshi in a fierce, life-altering battle. Yet Lu Songshi had the upper hand, thanks to his numerous allies, and Lu Hao's father had been grievously wounded. Defeated and broken, he had no choice but to depart from the main clan, ultimately leaving his son, Lu Hao, expelled from the clan. The rest of the clan members believed Lu Hao's family to be cursed and wretched, their suffering unending. Learning of this, Lu Exu could no longer suppress her anger, warning Lu Wu and Lu Zhan against speaking recklessly in her presence. She vowed to uncover the truth about Lu Hao's family and punish those who had persecuted them. Lu Wu and Lu Zhan, undeterred, revealed that Lu Songshi had dispatched individuals to hunt down Lu Hao. They believed that Lu Hao's chances of survival were slim at best. This revelation stoked the fires of anger within Lu Hao, who now suspected that Lu Songshi was the mastermind behind his parents' suffering. As a member of the main clan, Lu Songshi seemed determined to eradicate Lu Hao's family. And Lu Hao vows that he will become more powerful than the main clan leader and will make the Lu Songshi lineage pay the price for harming his family. A month and a half later, just outside Tianqi City, in the bustling martial artist market, Lu Hao wandered amidst the crowd, contemplating the impressive wolf-beast crystals. Not only did they stabilize his martial pulse, but they had also propelled his Golden Dragon 9 transformation technique to perfection in its first stage. Lu Hao had even achieved the second stage of the condensed key realm, boasting 1 inherited martial pulse and 2 common martial pulses. However, he couldn't help but wonder about the exceptional skill said to be attainable with each perfected stage of the Golden Dragon 9 transformation technique, a skill that had thus far eluded him. As he roamed the market, he stumbled upon a stall where registration for the Profound Sword Sect was taking place. The Profound Sword Sect, a major force in the eastern region, was the dream of every cultivator. Lu Hao envisioned that joining this sect would not only make him stronger, but also allow him to repay Huadi for saving his life. This group of martial artists asked Lu Hao, is he looking to sign up for the Profound Sword Sect, and they asked Lu Hao to join their team as they are also signing up for it, but they need minimum of 5 people in the team, and they only need 1 more person. Lu Hao hesitates and tells them that he is only at the second stage of Condensed Key Realm, and he might slow them down. The girl tells Lu Hao not to worry about that and join their team. Lu Hao agrees to join and finds it strange that these people wouldn't mind teaming with him who is at the second stage of Condensed Key. He couldn't help but wonder about their motivations. As the group rested in the forest, 2 of his newfound companions produced rations. Lu Hao couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. It became increasingly clear to him that these individuals were not here for the same purpose as the others, a realization that set off alarm bells in his mind. Suddenly, the 2 companions transformed, succumbing to their inner rage, and attempted to murder the 3rd member of the group, who was sleeping. Lu Hao, driven by a strong sense of justice and duty, moved to intervene. However, the slumbering member displayed incredible agility, evading their attacks with ease. It was then revealed that the sleeping member was none other than the young clan leader of the Gu family. He had mastered the Ghost Shadow Step and had a hefty bounty on his head, 100,000 gold to be exact. The 2 assailants were there to claim that bounty. Lu Hao realized that he wasn't their target. Their strength, belonging to the 4th stage of the Condensed Key Realm, exceeded his own. Instead, they were after the young clan leader, who now found himself in a dire predicament. The tension in the air was palpable, and Gu, with a sense of urgency, implored Lu Hao to flee from the impending danger. He warned the young man that the impending conflict was not his concern, and it would be safer for him to escape while he still could. As the 2 engaged in this discussion, these 2 assassins charged at Gu. These deadly individuals were skilled in their craft, and they wielded a chain weapon with lethal precision. With swift and calculated movements, they ensnared Lu Hao's legs with their chain, effectively immobilizing him. It was at this moment that Lu Hao realized his Ghost Shadow technique, a formidable martial skill, was rendered useless. The assassins wasted no time and charged towards the defenseless Lu Hao, ready to deliver a potentially fatal blow. Just when it seemed that all hope was lost, Lu Hao displayed remarkable courage. Without hesitation, he stepped between the assassins and their intended victim, acting as a barrier against their deadly onslaught. Gu, who had initially urged Lu Hao to flee, was taken aback by this turn of events. He watched in astonishment as Lu Hao took a stand, valiantly protecting him from harm. In the midst of this chaos, Lu Hao addressed the assassins, boldly informing them that they had invited him to participate merely as a pawn, someone meant to fill a numerical quota in their sinister scheme. It was clear to Lu Hao that this young man from the Gu family possessed a noble and virtuous character, one worth protecting. With a resolute spirit, he drew his swords and swung them with precision, aiming to thwart the assassins' attacks. Unfortunately, the assassins were not so easily defeated, and they skillfully dodged Lu Hao's strikes, countering his every move. The situation took a dire turn as the assassins grew more serious in their intent. With synchronized movements, they launched a simultaneous assault on Lu Hao, their martial prowess undeniable. Faced with this overwhelming threat, Gu, still reeling from the shock of Lu Hao's intervention, implored him to flee once more. Gu understood that these assassins were formidable adversaries, each belonging to the fourth layer of the condensed Qi realm. Lu Hao, who had only reached the second level of Qi condensation, was ill-prepared to face such skilled opponents. Yet Lu Hao's unwavering confidence and determination prevailed. With remarkable swiftness, he brandished his sword and executed a series of precise strikes, felling both assassins with ease. The sight left Gu utterly shocked. Lu Hao had defeated both assassins with a single powerful blow. Lu Hao himself could hardly contain his excitement, recognizing the immense potential of his martial abilities. He attributed his newfound strength to the 9 revolutions of the Golden Dragon technique and his inherited martial lineage, a combination that proved to be truly formidable. However, the unfolding events were far from over. Just as they were regaining their composure, a mysterious girl emerged from the shadows. She had witnessed the swift demise of her companions and was understandably frightened. She approached Gu, seeking reassurance. Gu, ever the calm presence, reassured the girl that the assassins were no longer a threat and that she had nothing to fear. He tried to calm her nerves, but suddenly, without warning, she produced a dagger from behind and launched a vicious attack at him. Gu managed to evade a lethal blow, but the girl's sinister demeanor was unmistakable. It was apparent that she possessed formidable abilities, potentially even surpassing those of the previous 2 assassins. Gu realized that she was likely a practitioner of the 6th layer of the condensed Qi realm, a level that far surpassed his own capabilities. With deadly intent, the girl unleashed a torrent of attacks against Gu, her every movement driven by a thirst for vengeance. She used her chains skillfully, immobilizing Gu and delivering a powerful blow to his stomach that sent him hurtling through the air, crashing into a nearby tree. Injured and overwhelmed, Gu faced the grim realization that he might not survive this harrowing encounter. As the girl prepared to deliver a final fatal strike, the unexpected occurred. Lu Hao, who had remained in the shadows, emerged with astonishing speed. He unleashed a technique known as the Divine Dragon Fist, channeling its immense power into a direct strike at the girl's abdomen. The impact was devastating, and the girl was incapacitated, no longer a threat. In this critical moment, Lu Hao's prowess shone brilliantly, and he had single-handedly saved Gu from certain doom. Gu, still reeling from the shock of the girl's strength and the subsequent turn of events, could hardly believe his eyes. He had witnessed Lu Hao, with only the strength of the 2nd level of Qi condensation, triumph over an opponent at the 6th level of Qi condensation. The display of martial prowess left Gu in awe of his new ally. Lu Hao, too, was in awe of the power he had just harnessed in his time of need. He realized that, at the critical moment of life and death, he had comprehended the first ultimate technique of the Golden Dragon 9 transformation art. It was a revelation that left him astounded by the sheer might of this martial skill. However, as the adrenaline subsided, he began to feel the draining effects of this extraordinary power. The Dragon Fist of No Regrets, as it was known, was indeed powerful, but it came with significant aftereffects. With their lives no longer in immediate peril, Lu Hao introduced himself to Gu, taking the initiative to break the chain that had bound his newfound companion. He inquired about the bounty on Gu's head, prompting Gu to share his story. Gu revealed that a family conflict had led to a bounty being placed on his head by his own kin. Lu Hao recognized the similarities between their situations, both pursued by their families and seemingly adrift in a world filled with uncertainty. It was this shared destiny that bound them together as kindred spirits, wanderers in a world fraught with danger and intrigue. Grateful for Lu Hao's timely intervention and eager to forge a new path, Gu made a heartfelt promise. He vowed to remember the favor of saving his life and invited Lu Hao to accompany him to the Xuan sword sect. After all, they had come this far together, and their bond had been solidified in the crucible of life-threatening adversity. Lu Hao readily agreed to join Gu on this journey, and he declared that, from that moment forward, they were brothers who would watch out for each other. Their pact was sealed with a symbolic fist bump, an unspoken promise of loyalty and mutual support. As the two newfound companions arrived at the location for the Xuan Sword Sect registration, they were met by an instructor who outlined the next steps in their journey. It was explained that those wishing to join the Xuan Sword Sect would first need to pass a qualification test. The participants, including Lu Hao and Gu, entered tents to complete their respective tests. Emerging from the evaluation, Lu Hao encountered Gu Chen once more. Gu proudly shared his results, revealing that he possessed 7 martial veins, a testament to his exceptional abilities. He had been rated as a top-tier candidate in the exam. In contrast, Lu Hao's performance had secured him only 3 martial veins, earning him the lowest possible rating. Gu and the other participants were surprised by this revelation. How could someone with only 3 martial veins exhibit such remarkable strength? The other participants began to cast aspersions on Lu Hao, belittling his abilities and suggesting that he had embarrassed himself by participating in the examination. Unperturbed by their taunts, Lu Hao reassured Gu that he would soon demonstrate his true power during the upcoming competition. All the participants were eventually called together, and the instructor delivered a pivotal announcement. It was revealed that they had all passed the qualification test. However, merely being qualified was insufficient to meet the rigorous standards of the Xuan Sword Sect. To prove their worthiness, they would need to seize 1,000 platforms within the span of half an hour. This competition would be fierce, as 6,000 individuals would be vying for a mere 1,000 platforms. It was a daunting challenge, and the atmosphere was charged with anticipation and trepidation. With the signal from the instructor, the participants surged into action. They sprinted towards the platforms, scaling walls and leaping with agility to reach their targets. Gu, realizing the importance of speed, advised Lu Hao to secure platforms swiftly, as many competitors lay ahead, and the platforms would be claimed rapidly. Lu Hao agreed with Gu's strategy, and the two companions charged forward, determined to secure their platform. Gu successfully landed on a platform, but their pursuit was far from over. 2 competitors approached them, intent on challenging Gu for control of the platform. Gu Chen, his strength and resilience put to the test, defended his platform valiantly. The instructor had set a demanding challenge, to hold the platform for half an hour against a swarm of challengers. Gu knew it wouldn't be easy, but he was determined to prevail. As more and more competitors came at him, their numbers increasing with each passing moment, Gu fought with unwavering resolve. He expertly countered their attacks, swiftly dispatching those who dared to challenge him. It was a formidable feat, but the pressure of maintaining his defense for the entire duration took a toll. Exhaustion began to weigh heavily on Gu's shoulders. He wondered about his new acquaintance, Lu Hao, who had shown such remarkable prowess against the assassins. Gu couldn't help but be curious about how Lu Hao was faring in this challenging test. He knew he had to persevere, for the half-hour deadline felt like an eternity. To his amazement, as Gu stole glances in Lu Hao's direction, he witnessed a remarkable sight. Lu Hao was not merely holding his ground against challengers, he was thriving. The crowd of competitors seemed to have focused their efforts on him, assuming that someone at the second level of key condensation would be an easier target. However, Lu Hao defied all expectations. He defended against an astonishing 50 opponents, skillfully parrying their assaults and proving his mettle. In the midst of the tumultuous contest, Lu Hao emerged as the undisputed victor, securing the top rank in the entire test. Gu couldn't conceal his astonishment at Lu Hao's extraordinary performance. Despite his own impressive skills, he had only managed to defeat a dozen opponents. Lu Hao's astounding prowess left a deep impression, and it was clear that this young man possessed exceptional martial talent. Their instructor, observing the outcome of the competition, addressed the participants who had managed to secure platforms. He announced that those on the platforms would proceed to the next test, known as Flame Body Refinement. In this new challenge, only 500 of the remaining 1,000 participants would be able to advance further within the Xuan Sword Sect. The test began with a sudden surge of scorching heat radiating from below, enveloping the participants. The searing heat wave generated an oppressive atmosphere, and the other competitors began to falter and collapse under its intensity. Gu recognized the heat wave as a formidable trial, one that only the most advanced practitioners could withstand. Fortunately, Gu's training had elevated him to the 3rd level of key condensation, providing him with the resilience needed to endure the fiery ordeal. He stood his ground, though he couldn't help but worry about Lu Hao, who was at the second level of ki condensation. Gu feared that Lu Hao might have already reached his limits. His concern for his newfound friend grew when he turned to look at Lu Hao. To his astonishment, Lu Hao appeared unperturbed by the scorching heat wave. Instead of struggling, he lay comfortably on his platform, seemingly unaffected by the intense heat. Gu was left in awe of Lu Hao's extraordinary resilience and adaptability. The half-hour test felt like an eternity, as participants around them succumbed to the fiery challenge. As the time limit drew to a close, the instructor addressed the remaining participants. He announced that 500 individuals had persevered and completed the test successfully, earning the prestigious title of disciples of the Xuan Sword Sect. For Lu Hao, the challenge had been surprisingly straightforward. He hadn't needed to call upon his inherited martial vein or receive the empowerment of the ninefold golden dragon technique. He had faced the trial with remarkable composure and resilience, securing his place as a disciple of the Xuan Sword Sect. With their success in the flame body refinement test, Gu and Lu Hao found themselves on a flying ship belonging to the Xuan Sword Sect. From their elevated vantage point, they marveled at the vast expanse of the sect's territory, spread out below them like a tapestry of power and mystique. As the ship touched down, they arrived at the Xuan Sword Sect's outer disciple area. Their instructor, a figure of authority and knowledge, addressed the newcomers, informing them of the sect's structure. Those who had not been selected as inner disciples would remain in the outer disciple area for the time being. However, the instructor offered hope and encouragement. He explained that an assessment for both inner and outer disciples would be held 3 months later. The opportunity was clear. As long as they diligently cultivated and honed their martial skills during this period, they could still aspire to become inner disciples through the upcoming assessment. Lu Hao recognized the significant distinction between inner and outer disciples. Outer disciples relied primarily on their own cultivation efforts, forging their paths with limited resources and guidance. In contrast, inner disciples received the mentorship of renowned masters and had access to a wealth of elixirs and magical treasures that accelerated their growth. The gap was substantial, but Lu Hao was determined to bridge it. He resolved to pass the assessment 3 months from now and ascend to the ranks of inner disciples. Meanwhile, Gu Chen had already secured his place among the inner disciples, courtesy of his 7 martial veins. In their shared dormitory, Lu Hao received a generous supply of ki condensing pills distributed by the sect. These potent pills were a valuable asset, capable of enhancing one's ki condensation realm cultivation. Lu Hao couldn't help but be impressed by the generosity of the Xuan Sword Sect, which seemed committed to fostering the growth of its disciples. Amid the dormitory's furnishings, Lu Hao discovered the room he would call home during his tenure as an outer disciple. Lu Hao stepped into his new dorm room within the Xuan Sword Sect with an air of anticipation. He was eager to meet his roommate and begin this new chapter in his life as an outer disciple of the sect. As he entered, he extended a friendly greeting, looking forward to the camaraderie and shared experiences that awaited. However, what he encountered was far from the warm welcome he had expected. His roommate, a young man whose face bore the traces of fear and suspicion, recoiled as Lu Hao entered. The roommate, with a nervous quiver in his voice, hastily exclaimed, "We have nothing to do with each other. Don't even think about touching my ki condensation pill." Lu Hao was taken aback by the abruptness and hostility of the welcome. He had never harbored any intentions of taking his roommate's pill. Nonetheless, the tense atmosphere left him puzzled and somewhat uncomfortable. The following day, as the first rays of dawn pierced through the curtains, Lu Hao found it nearly impossible to sleep due to the cacophony resonating from the corridors and the common area of the dormitory. Restlessness overcame him, and his curiosity led him to venture outside his room to investigate the source of the commotion. Outside, he encountered a sea of fellow disciples, many of them agitated and vocal. The buzzing energy of the crowd was palpable, and Lu Hao couldn't ignore the excitement and unease that swirled around him. Approaching one of his fellow disciples, he inquired about the turmoil, seeking an explanation for the ruckus that had disrupted the morning peace. The response was enlightening and concerning. The fellow disciple explained that the previous day, all the new students, including Lu Hao, had been provided with their ki condensation pills. These pills were a precious resource, essential for cultivating their ki and advancing through the ranks. However, a long-standing tradition within the Xuan Sword Sect involved a challenge faced by the new students. Senior Brother Wu Neng, renowned for his prowess as the strongest among the outer disciples, routinely paid a visit to the newcomers. He demanded their key condensation pills as a symbolic gift to him, a tradition that had persisted for years. Many of the new students reluctantly surrendered their pills to avoid conflict, as Senior Brother Wu Neng had a fearsome reputation for brutality. Lu Hao's interest deepened as he learned of the predicament faced by the new students. The fellow disciple continued to describe how those who refused to part with their pills faced the wrath of Senior Brother Wu Neng, often enduring a physical beating until they relented. As Lu Hao absorbed this information, he noticed a disturbance within the crowd. It was his roommate, the same one who had issued the unwelcoming greeting the day before. The young man had chosen not to surrender his key condensation pill, and the consequences were clear. Senior Brother Wu Neng, towering over the room, had the young man pinned against the wall. He had resorted to violence to enforce his demand. The roommate, trembling and beaten, implored Senior Brother Wu Neng to cease the assault and offered to hand over his pill. Lu Hao couldn't stand idly by, watching a fellow disciple endure such torment. He felt a surge of indignation at the injustice he witnessed. Lu Hao moved forward, determined to intervene and make a stand for what was right. He placed a hand on Senior Brother Wu Neng's shoulder, attempting to address him and challenge the unjust practices that had become entrenched within the sect. His voice, though tinged with urgency and frustration, was respectful. The senior responded with a shove, dismissing Lu Hao's concerns and asserting the survival of the fittest doctrine. The unspoken rules seemed to justify Senior Brother Wu Neng's actions, as he took it upon himself to seize the key condensation pills from the new students. The situation escalated as Senior Brother Wu Neng, his patience waning, accused Lu Hao of seeking to play the role of a hero and of interfering in matters that did not concern him. In a sudden burst of anger, Senior Brother Wu Neng attempted to strike Lu Hao. Lu Hao, with a surge of courage and determination, met Senior Brother Wu Neng's attack with skill and power that astonished onlookers. Lu Hao's fist, infused with the formidable energy of the divine dragon. The collective gasp of astonishment rippled through the crowd, connected with Senior Brother Wu Neng's, sending the senior disciple hurtling into the wall. Senior Brother Wu Neng, dazed and injured, gaped at his broken arm, disbelieving. It was an unprecedented turn of events, as Lu Hao, the new student, had emerged victorious. But the confrontation was far from over. The other senior disciples, loyal to Senior Brother Wu Neng, reacted swiftly. They converged on Lu Hao, launching a coordinated assault, driven by a desire to avenge their fallen comrade. Despite the odds stacked against him, Lu Hao's agility and mastery of the divine dragon's power allowed him to evade their blows with remarkable finesse. In swift, precise movements he countered, striking each of his opponents with forceful precision. One by one, the senior disciples were incapacitated, leaving them bewildered by the prowess of the new student who had dared to defy their established order. Lu Hao's actions had left a lasting impact on the disciples gathered there. This senior student found himself astonished as he observed the unexpected strength of a newcomer, Lu Hao. Approaching Senior Brother Wu Neng with urgency, Lu Hao disclosed unsettling news he had overheard. Senior Brother Wu Neng had taken all the pills designated for new students. Incensed, Lu Hao demanded the immediate return of the pills and insisted that Senior Brother Wu Neng hand over his own condensing key pills. The confrontation escalated as anger surged through Lu Hao, prompting him to press Wu Neng about the confiscated pills. Wu Neng, in response, unleashed an attack using a shoe blade, hoping to subdue the situation. However, much to his surprise, Lu Hao displayed remarkable agility, effortlessly evading the impending strike. Swiftly, Lu Hao not only avoided the attack but also leaped back, skillfully latching onto Senior Brother Wu Neng's leg, effectively preventing any further aggressive moves. With determination etched on his face, Lu Hao intensified his demand, warning Senior Brother Wu Neng to surrender the pills willingly or face the consequences of a broken leg. Though reluctant, Senior Brother Wu Neng acquiesced, agreeing to provide half of the confiscated pills. Despite this concession, Lu Hao remained unsatisfied, exerting additional pressure on Wu Neng's leg, making it clear that only the complete return of the pills would suffice. Wu Neng, sensing the gravity of the situation, relented and agreed to hand over all the pills. As the tension subsided, Lu Hao couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of the situation. He pointedly remarked on the unnecessary aggression, suggesting that a simple conversation could have avoided the entire conflict. Wu Neng, seemingly humbled, realized the error in his approach. With the pills secured, Lu Hao fulfilled his promise to the new students. Their joy and gratitude were palpable as they reclaimed their condensing key pills. Expressing their thanks, the new students warmly welcomed Lu Hao into their midst, recognizing him as a defender of justice. In the aftermath of the confrontation, Lu Hao's roommate, Xiao Zimo, pondered the events with admiration. He marveled at Lu Hao's courage in resisting oppression and decided to emulate his example. From that moment onward, inspired by Lu Hao's determination to resist injustice and protect his family, Xiao Zimo vowed not to succumb to weakness. The incident became a turning point for him, shaping his resolve to follow in Lu Hao's footsteps and stand up against injustice in the Martial Arts Academy. In the Martial Arts Academy, the air hung heavy with a sense of reconciliation as Zimo approached Lu Hao. The tension from the previous day's misunderstanding melted away as Zimo, hailing from a modest background, shared the significance of condensing key pills to him. He admitted to having wrongly perceived Lu Hao as a potential pill thief. In response, Lu Hao, with a genuine smile, reassured Zimo, urging him not to worry. In that moment, a bond of camaraderie was forged between them, with Lu Hao declaring that henceforth they were brothers, committed to helping each other. The narrative then transitioned to the outer discipline enforcement hall, where the seniors reported to their boss about their defeat at the hands of the new student Lu Hao. The leader, Huang Hong, and his right-hand man, Huang Li, responded with laughter rather than scorn. Huang Hong, an inner disciple, conveyed to the defeated seniors the inappropriateness of seeking retaliation against newcomers. Instead, he offered them a different perspective, assuring them that in a month's time during the upcoming adventure for the new students, he would stand as a senior brother, ready to protect Lu Hao. But in reality, he will take Lu Hao down. Gratitude emanated from the defeated individuals as they thanked Huang Hong for this unexpected assurance. Fast-forwarding to a month later, the scene unfolded with Lu Hao in deep meditation, enveloped in dragon aura. The anticipation for the impending adventure for new students loomed large. This adventure held the key for Lu Hao to qualify for both inner and outer disciple examinations, presenting the coveted opportunity to enter the inner sect. Excitement surged within Lu Hao as he reflected on the strides he had made during the testing period. The catalyst for his progress was the aid of condensing key pills generously provided by Wu Neng. These pills had propelled Lu Hao to break through to the third level of condensing key, a significant feat. Additionally, he had successfully repaired the fourth ordinary meridian, marking a crucial advancement in his martial arts journey. Eager to gauge the extent of his newfound strength, Lu Hao reminisced about the challenges he faced a month ago. During that time, breaking a boulder had required every ounce of his strength. Now, positioned before the same boulder, he prepared to test the fruits of his labor. With unwavering focus, Lu Hao unleashed a powerful punch, and to his delight, the boulder shattered effortlessly. The stark contrast from a month ago was undeniable. His strength had multiplied, and the ease with which he shattered the boulder was a testament to the remarkable progress he had achieved. Reflecting on his enhanced abilities, Lu Hao marveled at the thought that with just half of his newfound strength, he could shatter boulders. His power had more than doubled in the span of a month, a realization that filled him with a sense of accomplishment. Empowered by this growth, Lu Hao contemplated the use of the Dragon Fist, a technique he had once regarded with caution. Now, however, he felt ready to employ it unreservedly, a testament to the confidence he had gained through diligent training and the support of those around him. The next day marked the beginning of a new chapter as he embarked on the ship, sailing towards the anticipated adventure, fueled by a mix of excitement and trepidation. On board the ship, amid the hum of anticipation, Lu Hao found himself approached by a stranger. The person sought confirmation of his identity, posing the question, "Are you Lu Hao?" Puzzled, Lu Hao responded with a cautious affirmation. The stranger revealed himself as Huang Hong, the captain entrusted with ensuring the safety of Lu Hao's team during their upcoming training. His words carried a weight of authority as he sternly advised Lu Hao to follow orders if he harbored any desire to navigate the challenges unscathed. As Huang Hong and his companion, Huang Li, departed, leaving Lu Hao to mull over their encounter, he couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to their stern warnings than met the eye. Why did these two seniors seem to have a particular issue with him? The question lingered in his mind, but with the adventure looming on the horizon, Lu Hao pushed these thoughts aside, focusing on the journey that lay ahead. The following day arrived swiftly, bringing the ship to its destination, the outskirts of the Yaoguang Forbidden Area. The instructor, a figure of authority, addressed the assembly of newcomers, emphasizing the extreme danger that awaited them in this perilous terrain. The mission was clear: obtain 5 Tier 3 beast crystals to qualify for the inner and outer disciples assessment. With this goal hanging in the air, the instructor declared that the training would span 5 days, punctuated by the imperative to return to the ship by the rooster hour. The newcomers, a mix of anticipation and nerves, readied themselves for the imminent challenges. In the midst of the preparations, Xuan Hong approached Lu Hao, outlining their team's strategy. They would split up later to search for the elusive beast crystals, with Lu Hao, possessing the lowest cultivation level, assigned to stick close to Xuan Hong and Huang Li for safety. As the team ventured into the Yaoguang forbidden area, Lu Hao couldn't help but notice the divergence in their approach. While other teams chose to move together for mutual support, Lu Hao's team opted to split up, a decision that struck him as somewhat unusual, especially given the hazardous nature of the forbidden area. Contemplating this choice, Lu Hao's thoughts circled back to Wu Neng and the troubles among the newcomers. The notion crossed his mind: could Wu Neng and his connections in the inner sect be behind the disturbances? Was it possible that Wu Neng, along with others, had a hand in the bullying that plagued the newcomers? These questions lingered in the backdrop of Lu Hao's mind as the adventure unfolded on the outskirts of the Yaoguang forbidden area. Suspicion crept into Lu Hao's mind as Xuan Hong, ostensibly leading the way to find beast crystals, appeared to be directing him towards the perilous forbidden area. Drawing upon the knowledge gleaned from numerous books, Lu Hao understood the inherent dangers of the Central Zone, a place teeming with high-level ferocious beasts classified on a scale from 1 to 10. The first rank corresponded to the human body refinement realm, the second to the key condensation realm, and the formidable 10th rank to the human martial gold realm and beyond. As they traversed the outskirts of the Yaoguang forbidden area, Lu Hao realized that they could handle ferocious beasts ranging from the first to the 3rd rank. However, the central area harbored more formidable creatures, escalating from the 4th to the 6th rank and further intensifying from the 7th to the 10th rank. These were beings so formidable that even true key experts couldn't contend with them. Recognizing the impending danger, Lu Hao earnestly warned his senior brothers that proceeding further could lead them into the jaws of powerful ferocious beasts and confrontations with true key realm cultivators, putting their lives in imminent peril. Proposing a halt to their progress, Lu Hao's apprehensions were validated when Xuan Hong and Huang Li revealed their true malevolent intentions. They saw this remote location as the perfect opportunity to eliminate Lu Hao, where their actions could be shrouded in secrecy. Observing this betrayal, Lu Hao couldn't help but smirk knowingly, as if expecting such deceit. He questioned Xuan Hong, probing into the connection with Wu Neng. Xuan Hong confirmed the affiliation, openly acknowledging their alliance. Huang Li, displaying audacity as a cultivator at the 3rd stage of the key condensation realm, brazenly provoked Lu Hao. With evident malice, Huang Li charged toward him, brandishing a drawn sword. Unfazed by the provocation, Lu Hao steeled himself for the impending confrontation. Asserting that 2 cultivators at the 6th stage of the key condensation realm could not overpower him, Lu Hao prepared for what seemed inevitable. Channeling his inner strength and resolve, Lu Hao unleashed his dragon fist just as Huang Li closed in with a drawn sword. In a breathtaking display of agility and skill, Lu Hao shattered Huang Li's sword mid-air with a forceful strike. Before Huang Li could comprehend the unfolding events, Lu Hao delivered a powerful punch directly to his face. The impact was resounding and Huang Li was sent sprawling to the ground, his body lying motionless, seemingly defeated. Lu Hao remains motionless, enveloped in the ethereal essence of a dragon, exuding an aura of effortless coolness. As the dust settled and the gravity of the situation sank in, Xuan Hong, witnessing this unexpected turn of events, struggled to make sense of the incomprehensible. How was it possible for someone at the 3rd stage of the key condensation realm to overpower Huang Li, a cultivator standing at the 6th stage? The dissonance between expectation and reality left Xuan Hong bewildered, grappling with the inexplicable twist of fate within the forbidden area. As Lu Hao sprinted back towards the safety of the ship, a sense of urgency gripped him. Dealing with a cultivator at the 6th level of key condensation was one thing, but the revelation that Xuan Hong, his pursuer, was rumored to be at the true key realm sent a shiver down Lu Hao's spine. The disparity in their realms implied a vast difference in power, making escape a pressing priority. Xuan Hong, swift and determined, noticed Lu Hao's retreat and called out for him to stop. With a drawn sword, Xuan Hong charged towards Lu Hao, aiming to intercept him before he reached the safety of the ship. Realizing the impending danger, Lu Hao contemplated his options. The swiftness of a true Qi realm cultivator presented a formidable challenge for escape. In a bold move, Lu Hao chose to confront the situation head-on. Using his dragon fist, he landed a punch on his own neck, a seemingly counterintuitive move that momentarily confused Huang Hong. Lu Hao's gambit paid off as he swiftly changed direction, evading Huang Hong and continuing his mad dash for safety. As Lu Hao thought he had successfully eluded his pursuer, a sudden twist of fate unfolded. A massive python materialized behind him, its presence sending shockwaves through Lu Hao. Before he could react, the python lunged forward and swallowed him whole. Witnessing this unexpected turn of events, Huang Hong assumed Lu Hao couldn't possibly survive an encounter with the fearsome 4th-level Huayan python, a creature more potent than even a true Qi realm cultivator. Unbeknownst to Huang Hong, Lu Hao had anticipated this perilous scenario. Prior to venturing into the Yaoguang Forbidden Area, Lu Hao had meticulously studied the behaviors of its ferocious inhabitants. His research had unveiled a crucial detail about the Huayan python. The creature was irresistibly drawn to the essence of blood. Just a hint of blood could attract the python's attention. Moreover, Lu Hao had stumbled upon a vital piece of information. Voluntarily entering the python's esophagus could spare him from an immediate and fatal bite. With a steely resolve, Lu Hao deliberately emitted a bloody scent, enticing the Huayan python to swallow him willingly. It was a risky gambit, a desperate attempt to gain a fighting chance against an adversary believed to be unbeatable. As Huang Hong, convinced of Lu Hao's demise, left the scene, the young martial artist initiated the daring plan that he had meticulously crafted. While the stomach acid within the python's belly posed a serious threat, Lu Hao had another card to play. The exterior of the Huayan python might be formidable, but its interior was comparatively soft. Armed with a dagger, Lu Hao began the meticulous task of cutting through the python's stomach from the inside. The creature writhed in pain, succumbing to its injuries moments later. Emerging unscathed from the python's stomach, Lu Hao found himself in a precarious yet victorious position. Not only had he successfully eluded the clutches of the Huayan python, but he had also acquired an unexpected bounty, a rare and exquisite 4th-order beast crystal. The surge of elation at his narrow escape and the acquisition of this precious treasure coursed through him. As Lu Hao carefully emerged from the python's stomach, he couldn't help but marvel at the unforeseen turn of events. The seemingly insurmountable challenge had not only been met but conquered. Now faced with the colossal body of the fallen python, Lu Hao pondered his next move. The sheer size of the corpse posed a challenge, and he realized the need to find a discreet location to conceal the snake's remains. In a sudden turn of events, a mysterious blue mist enveloped Lu Hao from the distant reaches of the forest. Perplexed by its origin, he pondered what kind of cave could produce such an eerie and chilling wind. The idea crossed his mind that it might be the cave of the flower rock python, a formidable creature in the Yaoguang Forbidden Area. However, before he could delve deeper into these musings, a startling revelation unfolded. A group of sky ape beasts, 3rd-order ferocious creatures, emerged behind him. Reacting swiftly, one of the apes lunged at Lu Hao, aiming to attack him. With impressive agility, he managed to narrowly dodge the creature's assault. Recognizing the threat posed by the sky apes, despite their lower individual power compared to the flower rock python, Lu Hao decided to make a strategic retreat towards the other side of the forest. His rationale was that while these apes might not be as formidable individually, they were known to travel in groups. As he sprinted through the dense vegetation, the mist ahead hinted at a potential dead end. Lu Hao weighed his options, realizing that escaping the pursuing apes within the confines of the forest was becoming increasingly unlikely. Faced with this dilemma, he reluctantly concluded that venturing into the cave, potentially the snake's den, might be his only viable option. In his mad dash towards the cave entrance, an unexpected obstacle presented itself. A sky ape, undeterred by Lu Hao's evasion, launched a surprise attack from behind. Barely managing to evade the ape's strike, Lu Hao reached the cave entrance just in time. However, the consequence of the ape's assault became apparent as rocks tumbled, blocking the entrance behind him. Feeling a mix of relief for narrowly escaping the apes and concern for his newfound predicament, Lu Hao suddenly found himself plummeting underground within the cave. Regaining consciousness, he discovered he was alive, but the shock intensified as he realized he held a human skeleton in his hand. Surveying the surroundings, he noticed an unsettling number of skeletons scattered throughout the cave, indicating that this place had once been a grim battlefield. Amid the bones and remnants of the past, Lu Hao's attention was drawn to a dagger with the initials of the Yao Guang Holy Land engraved upon it. The sight was both astonishing and perplexing. Could this be the remnants of one of the legendary 7 holy lands that once stood tall on the continent? In ancient times, these holy lands symbolized the pinnacle of martial forces, thriving in a golden age for martial artists. However, a mysterious massacre swept across the continent, leading to the downfall of all 7 great holy lands. Today, these once prestigious lands had transformed into deathly forbidden territories, inhabited by ferocious beasts. Lu Hao contemplated the perilous nature of these forbidden lands, where danger lurked at every turn. Legend spoke of world-shaking legacies waiting to be discovered within them. Despite the potential treasures that might lay hidden, Lu Hao recognized that his immediate concern was finding a way to navigate and escape this eerie and enigmatic place, surrounded by the remnants of a bygone era. As Lu Hao pressed onward in the cavernous depths, he stumbled upon a mesmerizing discovery: blue stones, radiant with an ethereal glow, known as earth-vein stones. These stones held a value surpassing even that of beast crystals, commanding high prices due to their formation from the condensation of exceptionally pure natural energy. Despite their size, even a fist-sized piece could fetch a fortune in the market. Beyond their monetary value, earth-vein stones played a crucial role in cultivation, alchemy, and weapon refining. Martial artists in the 4 realms often risked their lives in pursuit of these precious stones, driven by the dual promise of power and wealth. However, Lu Hao found himself facing a practical challenge. Lacking a spiritual treasure, he couldn't carry an abundance of these valuable stones. Prioritizing a strategic escape, he resolved to explore further while contemplating his next moves. In his continued exploration, Lu Hao's journey led him to a source of light within the cave. Approaching cautiously, he discovered an astonishing sight: the walls adorned with crystals. Intricately engraved depictions of the deceased adorned the cavern, sparking speculation in Lu Hao's mind. Could this be the tomb left behind by the original Holy Land, a relic of a bygone era? Drawn by curiosity, he entered the sacred space and encountered an engraved image of a woman. Struck by her ethereal beauty, Lu Hao couldn't help but marvel at the resemblance to a fallen celestial being. Yet his attention was soon diverted by an object that seemed to hold significance, a relic, perhaps, from the original Yao Guang Holy Land. In the dim light, it resembled a mirror. Driven by curiosity, Lu Hao extended his hand to touch it. Unexpectedly, an enigmatic aura emanated from the mirror, disrupting his balance and causing him to fall to the ground in surprise. Bewildered and disoriented, he struggled to comprehend the strange occurrence. Suddenly, a voice echoed in the cavern, shattering the silence. The voice claimed that it had been tens of thousands of years since someone had discovered this relic. Startled, Lu Hao, still on the ground, inquired about the identity of the mysterious speaker. To his astonishment, the beautiful figure he had observed in the crystal coffin earlier seemed to come to life. She began to unravel the enigma of her existence. She revealed that during a calamity that swept across the continent, a devastating event that claimed the lives of 9 out of 10 beings, her Yao Guang Holy Land also fell. She had assumed that the legacy of her sect would be lost to time. However, the unexpected encounter with someone like Lu Hao today seemed to alter that narrative. As she shared her tale, she created a magical circle that pointed towards Lu Hao, declaring their meeting as a twist of fate. With a sense of purpose, she conveyed her intention to transmit to Lu Hao the ancient techniques for controlling the Yao Guang Holy Mirror and the Yao Guang Battle Key technique. The sudden gravity of the situation left Lu Hao bewildered, as if he had stumbled upon a forgotten chapter of history. As she initiated the transmission, it appeared as though a cascade of knowledge was being poured into Lu Hao's mind. Overwhelmed by the influx of information, Lu Hao struggled to make sense of the vast wisdom being transferred. Gradually, amidst the mental storm, he realized that she had shared with him a legacy, a reservoir of ancient knowledge that held the key to controlling the mysterious Yao Guang Holy Mirror and mastering an ancient martial technique. The encounter within the tomb of the original Holy Land had become a gateway to a legacy presumed lost to the annals of time. The narrative of Lu Hao's journey took an unforeseen turn, entwining him with the echoes of a bygone era and the secrets concealed within the sacred space of the Yao Guang Holy Land.